Smart TVs are terrible, and I don't even think this is a particularly hot take. This is the story of how I tried to find a good smart TV experience, only to find out they don't actually exist. Over the years, TVs have kind of just become a massive billboard in the wall of your living room. It's commonplace for them to come with multiple pre-installed apps, banner ads that cover 50% of the screen, and more egregiously than all that, terrible performance, sometimes even straight out of the box, it's stuttery and slow. A couple of years ago, I was on the market for a new TV. All I wanted was OLED, a modern SoC that would hopefully keep the TV updated for years to come in the software department, and apparently that was too much to ask. I kind of wanted Android, and that kind of excluded LG and Samsung because Tizen OS and WebOS are slightly annoying at best and a bloated, closed source nightmare at worst. That pretty much left me here in the UK with Sony and Philips as the two options. So I went with Philips because nice, pretty lights and slightly more affordable price with the same SoC, the same panel, very similar brightness numbers. So that's how we got to my TV. And straight out of the box, the performance was fine. It was fine. It was nothing impressive and it was quick enough. But over the years, it's just a year and a half later now, and it's not good. It's not good to the point where I'm currently considering plugging something else entirely into the TV, maybe a new Google Chrome box or a Chromecast or a Shield or even an Apple TV. And here's a question. If I'm considering all this, and if everyone knows that smart TVs are slow and stuttery, why make them smart to begin with? Why can't a TV just be a TV? And if you have to plug in anything to have a half-decent experience, why have anything out of the box at all? In short, it's the ads. We have normalized having remotes with full dedicated buttons to access specific streaming apps, which I still think it's crazy. It's commonplace to have banner ads that cover more than 50% of the screen at times, and the lower end TVs kind of get the worst deal possible because they are already extremely limited in the performance department, and with all these ads and all these tracking happening in the background, sometimes it takes multiple seconds for you to do anything. Like my case is best case scenario, top of the line TV, top of the line SoC, so it kind of is the best possible experience, and it still is mediocre. And most egregious of it all is how commonplace it is for smart TVs to come with aggressive default settings, and it's so common that sort of auto-playing video right on the home screen is common. And sure, if you really want to, you can remove and reduce some of these things happening in the background, but most people simply are not going to do it. And why should they really? TV manufacturers are more than happy sort of farming the ad revenue from the average Joe, and he simply doesn't know any better. And the problem is, for everyone that does know better, you kind of don't have the option to vote with your wallet, because these days every TV is a smart TV, so it's not like you can have any saying on the matter. No matter the brand, you can tweak certain things, maybe run away from WebOS and Tizen OS and go straight to Android, but even then the experience is less than ideal, and you're paying for something that most people would be at best satisfied with. It's never enjoyable and fast and fluid as we're used to in our mobile devices. It's just a smart TV that's slow. And the ads and the performance are only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to these smart TV issues. Like, it's so common that smart TV software updates are completely abandoned after a year, and that's best case scenario with a top of the line TV. Some brands just update them a couple of times and then call it quits, and software doesn't stay normal if you don't maintain it for years to come, and it's common for people to stay with the same TV for many years without any upgrades. So you kind of just keep an internet connected device in your home that will be inherently insecure and potentially problematic for the entire household Because smart TVs shouldn't be smart. They should just be dumb. So why make the computer and the screen one device? Making them separate would make this entire thing much more tolerable, and at the same time, it would kind of incentivize some development to be made in the set-top box market because, spoiler alert, options aren't particularly great. Even the recently released $99 Google TV streamer box isn't particularly fast. Like, it's only 20% faster than the Chromecast 4K, and since it costs $99, is it worth it? For some reason, the king of all Android set-top boxes still is the Nvidia Shield Pro from 2019, and even that still uses the same Tegra X1 chip from 2015. We're talking Galaxy S6, we're talking HTC One M9. These were the kind of phones that were top of the line in 2015, and you wouldn't consider any of them remotely close to top of the line in 2024. But the only reason why we tolerate this is because people are just used to bombastically slow and mediocre performance when it comes to the software that runs on their TVs. Like it or not, the Apple TV is a great example of how you can reutilize smartphone hardware into a TV to not only streamline the hardware, but also the software that runs on your TV, making long-term software support really possible. And if Google is now comfortable charging $100 for their Google TV streamer box, maybe they should be comfortable with putting a Tensor chip in there, because the MediaTek ones that they're using offer 10% of the raw performance that you get on a 2022 Apple TV 4K. And I don't think that's acceptable. None of this is to say that the Apple TV is a flawless product. It's far from it. Particularly if you're like me and you host your personal media collection and you try to access it through a service like Plex, it's sort of limited, and it's definitely a box that's fully made for streaming services and particularly for Apple TV in mind. But if you just want a fluid, fast, consistent experience with, guaranteed software upgrades for years to come, with no ads, no tracking, and no banners and nothing to disable out of the box, it's not a bad deal. And don't think for a second this is just a convoluted ad on Android Authority for the Apple TV. It absolutely is not. The conclusion is very simple. Smart TVs suck. Give me a dumb TV. I'll take it. But yeah. Oh, and say it after me. Smart TVs suck. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. See you very soon. Bye.